Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to give the 8th inning bosses their Chewie reviews. I'm going to go over each of the bosses, give them that 1 through 5 Chewie rating, as well as go over some of their statistics in real life from their career or from the year that the card is based off of, as we always do with the Chewie reviews. Before we get into them, what I need you guys to do is hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you guys think about the 8th inning bosses and which one you're going to select whenever you get the 300 program stars. Also, share this video with any of your friends that also play MLB The Show. That way you can continue to grow the community. So I will let you guys know who I think you should pick for the 8th inning boss when you get there and who I'm going to pick. Now that we got all those semantics knocked out of the way, let's get into it. Avon Rodriguez. The first of 3 bosses is the 99 overall Avon Pudge Rodriguez, 1999 Gold Glove catcher. He was on the Texas Rangers at this point in time. He played for quite a few teams throughout his career, but this was probably his best put together season in real life, which is why they used it. And I know that because San Diego Studio said the reason they used this 1999 Gold Glove was because it was his all-around probably best year. He won the MVP this season. He was a Silver Slugger, won the Gold Glove, and this was actually one of his 13 Gold Gloves that he won within his career. As for Pudge, he's right-handed batting, right-handed throwing. He has no secondary positions. He's diamond hitting and diamond defense on the card. Let's look at the statistics from his 1999 season. He batted .332, had an on-base percentage of .356, had an OPS of .914, an OPS plus of .125. He hit 35 home runs, had 113 RBIs. It was actually the only season in his career he had over 100 RBIs. And he had 25 stolen bases, which was a career high. He had wheels this year compared to other seasons. I don't even think he broke 15 stolen bases any other season. But this year he stole 25, so he's actually part of the 2020 club, which is kind of cool for a catcher. He also had a WAR of 6.4. As I've already mentioned, he won the MVP, was an All-Star, won the Gold Glove, and won the Silver Slugger for catching in the American League. He got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2017, so this wasn't like some sort of outlier season for Pudge. He's one of the best catchers to ever play baseball. He's up there with Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench and the Joe Torres of catching. He's an absolute monster. He's one of the best defensive catchers to ever play by far. Him and Johnny Bench are considered like hands down the 2 best defensive catchers to ever do it. I'll throw out some other accolades he got in his career just because he had a ridiculous career. He had 14 All-Star appearances, 13 Gold Gloves as I've already mentioned, and 7 Silver Sluggers. So he did it from both sides of the ball. Great defensively, great with the bat. Now that we've gone over Pudge's 1999 season as well as some things that he's done in his career, let's look at the card itself. He has 115 contact versus righty, 112 contact versus lefty, 93 power versus righty, 87 power versus lefty, 105 vision, 44 discipline, 102 clutch. In the field, he has 97 fielding, 99 arm strength, 98 arm accuracy, 82 reaction, 92 blocking with 68 speed, 61 stealing, and 77 base running aggressiveness. So he has great hitting attributes. They're pretty even. Unlike last year's Signature Series Pudge, where he significantly hit lefties better than he hit righties, this time around he actually hits righties a little bit better than he hits lefties, which is nice. He is great defensively, as he should be. Dude's won so many Gold Gloves. So we're just looking at this like, oh my lord. Defensively he is what he should be, and he'll be maxed everything defensively except for reaction if you prestige the card. Looking at his quirks, he has Hitting Machine, Bomber, 20/20 Vision, Soft Hands, Vacuum, Cannon, Sniper, Pressure Cooker, and Unbreakable. So he has the Vacuum, Cannon, and Sniper, as well as Soft Hands, which are all very important for catching. The Vacuum is super, super important, and that's the quirk that he really has that makes him a great defensive catcher. Hitting Machine, Bomber, definitely good for a guy that's a bit of a power stick. He obviously doesn't have the walker because his discipline is absolutely horrendous at 44, but the 20/20 vision makes up for it. He should foul off some balls, but just don't be looking to check swing with this Pudge. He's going to swing through the zone for sure if you try to check swing. Good attributes. The discipline's a little bit disheartening for me personally because if you're a guy that has a little bit of a happy trigger finger on that X and you like to hit it a little bit lightly to see whether it's going to be a strike or not, and you're a little bit indecisive like I am as a hitter sometimes, that discipline can really hurt you. The rest of the card is absolutely outstanding. I think this puts him in in the discussion for top 3 catcher, and I don't think there's any question marks about that. I'm going to give this Pudge 4.5 Chewies. The only reason he's not getting 5 Chewies is I don't think his power's all the way up there, and the discipline being very low will hurt some people when it comes to that check swing mechanism, as I said, as well as Pudge does not have a great swing. I think his swing's a little bit better this year than it was last year, but it's one of those bipolar swings and a lot of guys can't hit with him. For me personally, I'll probably end up getting this Pudge at some point in time if I don't pick him as my 8th inning boss. However, his swing, I like it. A lot of people do not like it. He likes to drive the ball to right center field, and he likes to hit a lot of backside stuff. He's not a big pull type of guy. If you're looking for a true power bat, I still think that Mike Piazza is probably the answer from ranked seasons, as well as some other guys. On top of that, this Pudge minus the defense really isn't that much more impressive than Joe Torre is, and that's really what I'm sitting at. Is he has about the same hitting attributes as Joe Torre, a little bit better, but still. It's just one of those things, and they both have the same goofy swing. I just don't know. I just can't justify giving him those 5 Chewies, but he's definitely 5 Chewies defensively, and he's definitely 4.5 Chewies hitting. So he's probably somewhere in between 4.5 to 5 Chewies, but we don't have a rating in between there, so we're going to stick to 4.5 Chewies and round down here. Ty Cobb. Next up, we have the Georgia Peach, Ty Cobb from the Detroit Tigers. It's his prime card. As you can see, he has a drawn portrait because this man, well, he played back in the day. Let's just put it that way. So normally for guys that have prime cards, I try to find the prime of their career. The problem with Ty Cobb is his whole career would be most people's prime. He did play in the dead ball era, so he doesn't hit a lot of home runs. But if I'm being honest, the dude batted like over 300 every season. He holds the career highest average at 366. So it's not like you can argue and say he had only a prime. So for this card, I'm going to go over his entire career statistics, which are absolutely outrageous. Now, the home runs will be low, but like I said, he played in dead ball era in huge fields. Like he played at Forbes Field and other fields where like the center field's like 500 plus feet. To the corners is like 380. So unless you hit absolute bomb skis, you weren't hitting home runs there. Maybe some inside the Parkers, but you just didn't really hit many home runs back then. Babe Ruth was the first guy to really start hitting home runs, but the stadiums also shallowed out some, especially towards the back end of Babe Ruth's career. So we're looking at this Ty Cobb. In first career, he batted 366, had an on-base percentage of 433, a slugging of 512, an OPS of 944, an OPS plus of 168. He had 4,189 hits, 117 home runs, 1,944 RBIs. He stole 897 bases. He scored 2,245 runs and has a 151 WAR. He won the MVP in 1911. He's a 12-time batting title winner. He won the Triple Crown in 1909. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1936 and was part of the inaugural first 5. So this dude had one of the most ridiculous careers in the history of Major League Baseball. I get the pitching wasn't as good and this and that, but dude batted 366. Ridiculous. Let's get into look what this card looks like. He has max contact against righties and lefties at 125. His power matches 90-90 from against righties and lefties. He has 114 vision, 72 discipline, 125 clutch. In the field, he has 89 fielding, 73 arm strength, 72 arm accuracy, 95 reaction, 99 speed, 99 stealing, and 99 base run aggressiveness. I also want to mention that his bunting is maxed at 99. So this dude has wheels for days, has good pop at 90, and then he has 125 max hitting. This might be the best outfielder in the game right now. He's so well balanced. He's super fast. With his arm strength, maybe put him in left field instead of center field, especially if you have Mickey Mantle. But my goodness, this Ty Cobb looks like he is locked into a starting spot within anybody's team for sure. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks are hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, quick reflexes, speedster, thief, pressure cooker, unbreakable, bunt master. So he doesn't have the walker because once again the discipline isn't that great, but he does have hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision. I think it's going to be very hard to strike this guy out with the max contact. He does have quick reflexes, speedster, thief because of how fast he is. The bunt master, I don't know how much you're really going to be bunting with Ty Cobb, but he can cause a lot of havoc on the base pass because of that 99 speed. Looking back at his attributes, this dude's attributes are just one of the best in the game. I'm so surprised they gave him max hitting from both sides, as well as that power of 90. I'm going to have to go in right here and say he's getting 5 Chewies. I get the fielding and the arm strength isn't great, and maybe he can't play his primary as center field. Even if you put him in left field, he's still a top 2 outfielder. Top 3, I guess, if you want to throw Trout in that mix too, but him, Mantle, and Trout, if that's your outfield, those 3 guys are absolutely ridiculous. I guess you could throw Larry Walker in there if you like Larry Walker better than Trout, or don't have Trout, or don't have Mantle. But this guy right here is absolutely ridiculous. And then if you prestige him, you get 93 power from each side. He has a butter smooth swing. 5 Chewies. We're going all in here. This Ty Cobb, like I said, when I saw him in the SDS release video on Twitch, by God, he is absolutely a ridiculous card. I'm very surprised they gave somebody this good for free to everybody that wants to pick him over some other cards. Clayton Kershaw. Well, boys, it looks like we're back to facing Kershaw every other game. Well, I guess it can't be every other game because of how the stamina works, but at least it's not all the time like it was last year and early on. This card looks eerily similar to the Signature Series Clayton Kershaw from last year. This one is the 2014 Cy Young 99 overall Clayton Kershaw, starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's left-handed throwing, left-handed batting. He throws a 5-pitch repertoire that includes a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a 12-6 curveball, a changeup, and a sinker. Yes, he has a sinker. He's going to throw the ball about 96 miles an hour. His curveball is going to go anywhere from 88 to 90 miles an hour. He does throw that ever so slow 12-6 curve that is going to go about 70 to 74 miles an hour. He has a changeup that goes 85 and a sinker that's going to go about 92 to 94 miles an hour. This year, Clayton Kershaw put together one of the most ridiculous pitching seasons in the history of Major League Baseball. He had a 21-3 record. Yeah, I didn't stutter there. 21-3. ERA of 1.77. Yes, once again, a sub-2 ERA. He's done that more than once in his career, actually. And an ERA plus of 197. He had a FIP, which is fielding independent pitching, which means that this is his pitching numbers independent of fielding for his ERA. He had a 1.81. That led the league. That is a ridiculously low number. That means that, not only did he absolutely wheel and deal, his defense would make some ridiculous plays to bail him out of situation. And his whip was 0.857, and he had a 7.7 WAR, which is actually very high for a starter considering they only play about a fifth of the games. In this season, he was voted in the All-Star game, obviously, won the Cy Young, as well as won the MVP, and he won the ERA title. Kershaw has not been inducted in the Hall of Fame yet, as he is still pitching, and I know he's had some playoff woes. But once this guy finally retires, he will 100% be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The only question it'll be is whether or not it will be unanimous. But he is 100% a first ballot Hall of Famer. And if you don't agree with me, you can argue with me in the comments down below. I don't think you'll be able to change my mind. He's had one of the most spectacular pitching careers in the history of baseball. Let's look at his attributes. He has 113 stamina, 102 hits per 9, 110 K per 9, 98 base on balls per 9, 92 home run per 9, 104 pitching clutch, 93 control, 76 velocity, 99 break. Very good attributes. It's about what it was last year for his Signature Series. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks are pressure cooker, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, control artist, grounded, sinker baller, knee buckler, illusionist. So the knee buckler and sinker baller are huge for this Kershaw because that means that his sinker is going to be harder to hit. The knee buckler means that his slider and curveball are going to be harder to hit. And then he also has illusionist for his changeup. So he's just going to be hard to hit. He was hard to hit last year. He'll be hard to hit this year if you work his pitch as well. He does have a great pitch repertoire and pretty much what is the standard considered meta pitch repertoire in the game right now. He doesn't throw a cutter, but his slider kind of goes hard enough to be a cutter, I guess. With the attributes in mind and the fact that you can prestige this guy, and if you prestige him, he becomes even better, I do think this Kershaw could be one of the best starting pitchers in the game, especially as a lefty. The only downside to this Kershaw is we have a lot of other starting pitchers in the game so far, and there's a lot of lefties that are already out that are in people's rotations that have done very well. We've seen guys that are similar to Kershaw this year so far, such as Nick Lodolo. Isn't quite Clayton Kershaw, of course, but has that similar type of pitch speed. You have to pitch with him a similar way. And you've seen the guys that don't throw as hard not be as good in all difficulties. Not that like Maddox and some of the precision type of pitchers like the Hershiser's don't do well in Legend and Hall of Fame, but on All-Star, those guys seem to get mashed a little bit more because they don't throw as hard and there's not a big pitch differential. So I think that this Kershaw will be a little bit hittable. Plus, he's a guy we saw a lot last year, and I don't think people just forget about that. For this Kershaw, I'm going to give him 4.5 Chewies, but just like the Pudge, he's really leaning towards 5 Chewies. I just can't give him the 5 Chewie rating because of the stage that is in the game. There's a lot of other lefties out there already that are suitable starting pitchers, and there's other guys that obviously that are right-handed that you wouldn't take Kershaw over them. So because of that, I'm going to give him 4.5 Chewies, and it might be a little bit of a low rating, but I don't want to just hand out 5 Chewies and hand out 5 Chewies. Obviously, the scale for Chewie rating matters at what point it is in the game. If this Kershaw came out 2 months ago, he's 5 Chewies. Shoot, I might make a new Chewie rating, give him 5.5 Chewies. But he's going to sit at 4.5 Chewies right now. That's his final rating. So, guys, we've given each guy their Chewie review, and I think it's pretty obvious which I'm going to take. I kind of maybe hyped him up the most, maybe I didn't. But I'm taking Ty Cobb to start. I do think I'm going to pick up the Pudge and Clayton Kershaw. If you guys haven't found a catcher that you can hit well with, I would really recommend Pudge, to be honest. If your rotation's hurting a little bit and you need a left-handed starting pitcher, go with Kershaw. I don't think you can go wrong with any 3 of these guys. My pitching rotation could use another lefty, I'm not going to lie, but I'll just pick Kershaw up in the market until I fully unlock Trout, which should be sometime this week. However, I'm going to pick Ty Cobb. I don't think with that speed and his contact that you cannot pick him up at some point in time, because he is the perfect leadoff hitter that would have some pop. Him and Mantle at the front of your lineup could cause a lot of devastation for people. And that's going to wrap up this Chewie review of the 8th inning bosses. Don't forget to comment, like, and share on this video. You guys have a great day and be safe.